The Pacific Coast Highway and Highway 101 between Los Angeles and the coastal area of San Simeon is one of the prettiest road trips in the nation. You will see spectacular ocean views, wildlife, quaint little coastal towns, a castle, and maybe even wild zebra. You can even stop and do some wine tasting, hiking, and dine on some of the best seafood around. So come with us as we show you a Pacific Coast Highway road trip and its possible stops between Los Angeles and San Simeon, California. As you drive up the California Central Coast from Los Angeles, you can intertwine between California State Highways 1 and 101. 101 being the faster highway route, and 1, aka Pacific Coast Highway, or PCH, is the highway that meanders up the coast and through quaint little towns along the way. You can actually take these highways all the way up the coast into San Francisco and beyond. Once you leave the San Fernando Valley in the Los Angeles area on Highway 101 and go over some coastal hills, you will start seeing the ocean. There are many places and things to see, but we are going to show you some of our favorites. First stop is the little town of Summerlin. Summerlin is about 2 hours from downtown Los Angeles, and it's a great stop to stretch your legs, have a cup of coffee, and do a little shopping. First, get your coffee at the Field and Fort shop. Browse their amazing store, then walk over with your cup of coffee to the Sacred Space. The Sacred Space is an amazing shop of spiritual items, and it is so relaxing to sit there and finish your coffee. This store is my personal fave. Next stop, Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara is one of the largest cities on the Central Coast, and there's a lot to see, especially when it comes to Spanish California history. But our next stop has something to do with my childhood. You see, I grew up in Southern California, and a story that most Californians my age will remember is the Island of the Blue Dolphins. The Island of the Blue Dolphins is a book that was standard reading in elementary school across the state. It is about a Native American girl who was stranded on one of the remote Channel Islands off the coast of California after her tribe was relocated to the mainland. What most people don't know is the story is true, and once she was rescued in the early 1800s, she was brought to Santa Barbara. But after being on the mainland for just a month, she died from a stomach ailment. She is now buried at the Spanish-built Santa Barbara Mission, somewhere under the bell tower. And we are going to pay our respects and tour the beautiful mission. The Santa Barbara Mission is one of the many Spanish missions up and down the California coast. Also, as you travel up and down the California coast, be on the lookout for the El Camino Royale signs. This is a commemorative route stretching approximately 600 miles from San Diego to Sonoma, connecting the 21 Spanish missions. While it follows ancient Native American trails, the modern signed route largely parallels major highways, particularly Highway 101. The name, which means the King's Highway, became popular due to the efforts to promote mission tourism in the early 20th century. Let's get back to Juana Maria, which is the name that was given to the Native American woman from San Nicolas Island. We will never know what her real name was because anyone who spoke her language from her tribe died from most likely mainland Spanish diseases. After Juana Maria was accidentally left behind, she lived alone on San Nicolas Island for 18 years until she was rescued in 1853, then died of dysentery and buried here at the mission. Let's walk through the mission to the area that is thought to be her grave and see some of her artifacts that are kept here in the museum. The current Santa Barbara Mission Chapel, which was built between 1812 and 1820, is approximately 205 years old. The mission itself was founded in 1786, but the initial church structures were much more basic and were destroyed by earthquake. Isn't this a beautiful chapel? Our next stop is the historic Cold Springs Tavern, just off the road from a cut-through highway called Highway 154, aka San Marcos Pass Road. The San Marcos Pass is a scenic route that runs from Santa Barbara to Highway 101, winding through the Los Padres National Forest and the San Ynez Valley. If you are going to the very special Danish-themed town of Solvang, this is a great route to take. The Cold Springs Tavern is an old stage stop, now party hangout, to wet one's whistle. Let's just take a look at how crowded it gets. Now, if you're looking for a place to have a good cold beer, now you know where to go. If you are traveling just a little further up the San Marcos Pass, you have a choice of either continuing until you meet up with the 101 again, or taking a detour on Highway 246 into the Danish-themed town of Solvang. Personally, I'd go to Solvang. The town is a great place to stay and have lunch, but don't leave until you have had your fill of Danish baked goods from those amazing Danish bakeries. If you are into seeing another historic California mission, then stop on by for a quick tour of the Mission San Ynez. There is even a Hans Christian Andersen museum in town. If you don't know who Hans Christian Andersen is, he is a famous 19th century Danish author, best known for his fairy tales like The Little Mermaid, The Ugly Duckling, and The Emperor's New Clothes. Once we make our way back to the 101, our next stop, one of my personal favorites, Pismo Beach. Only 3.5 hours from downtown Los Angeles, Pismo offers many outdoor things to do and places to stay. Personally, I love to camp in Pismo because there are many options near the beach. You can even camp on the beach with your vehicles, which is a rarity in California. But make your reservations far in advance. My picks are the Pismo Coast Village RV Resort and the North Beach Campground, both next to each other. Not only is it steps away from the beach, but it's also steps away from my favorite thing to do in Pismo, see the butterfly migration at the Monarch Butterfly Grove. The eucalyptus tree-filled grove is the home to thousands of monarch butterflies in late October through February. Although the butterfly count has been deteriorating in recent years, it is still a sight worth seeing. And if you are looking for some great seafood and a whole lot of fun, then stop at the Cracked Crab, where they literally throw dinner onto the table. Next stop, San Luis Obispo. The city is just a mere 11 miles east of the ocean, offering shopping, great restaurants, and historical sites. It is also the home of California Polytechnic State University, better known as Cal Poly. If you haven't yet noticed, we love exploring the missions. And like most towns along the Central Highway 101, it has a beautiful one smack dab in downtown San Luis Obispo. Like many of the California missions, Mission San Luis Obispo was founded in the late 1700s and built by the Native Americans living in the area. The mission area is a great place to have lunch and take a leisurely walk along the river. We personally grabbed sandwiches and had a peaceful picnic lunch in the Spanish-designed mission patio. Then took a nice walk shopping around town and then moseyed down the river walk. We even found some of the old Chinatown structures that weren't bulldozed in the 1950s. There is even a famed bubblegum alley. And yes, that is all used bubblegum up and down those walls. If you are looking for a fun and historical place to stay, try the famous Madonna Inn. The hotel is known for their themed rooms and is quite an adventure. But make sure to make reservations far in advance. It's a very popular destination. Next stop is Montana de Oro State Park for some spectacular views and hiking. The state park is just 16 miles west of San Luis Obispo, 6 miles southwest of Morro Bay, and 2 miles south of Los Osos. It consists of 8,000 acres of cliffs, 7 miles of shoreline, sandy beaches, dunes, coastal plains, streams, canyons, and hills. It is definitely worth the detour to take in the spectacular views. Next stop is the coastal city of Morro Bay. This quaint little town is known for its prominent Morro Rock that jets out of the ocean just off the bay. The rock is an ancient volcanic mound that sits within Morro Bay State Park, home to lagoons, trails, and a bird-rich seawater marsh. My favorite place to take pictures of the rock is across the bay because you can take a photo without the now defunct power plant in view. That power plant has always haunted the landscape, but good news, it is being demolished soon. My favorite thing to do in Morro Bay is shop and have a great roast beef sandwich at the Hofbrau. Something that has been a personal family tradition for decades. Next stop is Cayucas, another small coastal town on Highway 1, just miles up the road from Morro Bay. I love to watch the many surfers catch waves next to the pier while stretching my legs. And if you are into vintage things, there are several secondhand stores to browse. After a 5-hour drive from downtown Los Angeles, not including all those stops, we have made it to our beautiful accommodations in Cambria. As we roll into the coastal street where our hotel is located, we are greeted by some of the very cute local residents. Some of the most spectacular things about Cambria are the views and the wildlife. This area is known for its seals, sea lions, and otters. If you are looking for a romantic getaway, Cambria is the place. There are several cottage-type motels along Moonstone Beach Drive, not to mention wonderful restaurants featuring local seafood. We love the Sea Otter Inn. Not only is it on the shoreline that features spectacular views, but it is walking distance to many of those great restaurants. Not to mention, they deliver breakfast right to your front door. The town itself offers many other places to eat and some oddities, like the abandoned Nitwit Ridge, a house constructed primarily of recycled materials like beer cans, abalone shells, and toilet seats. It is actually a California historical landmark. Our next stop is the community of San Simeon, just miles up the road from Cambria. It is positioned along the Pacific Coast Highway and is about halfway between Los Angeles and San Francisco. There are 4 attractions that are my favorite: elephant seals, wine tasting, Hertz Castle, and wild zebra. Yes, you heard me right, wild zebra. Beyond the spectacular views, San Simeon is known for its elephant seal rookery. And the best spot to view them is the Elephant Seal Vista Point. The Vista Point has boardwalks and viewing platforms that extend both north and south of a large parking lot. In addition, there are on-site volunteers and interpretive educational panels that will guide you around the amazing elephant seal rookery. Elephant seals beach themselves near San Simeon year-round as they go through different phases in their life cycle. In peak times, there are up to 17,000 animals on the San Simeon shores. There are 3 peak times of the year that have large populations of seals: January, April, and October. My pictures were taken in October. Best time of year to see these amazing animals in action is fall and winter, with the big show, which is birthing and breeding, occurs in December through March. Next, we will take a short ride into San Simeon itself to take a great leisurely hike along the beach and cliffs, and then head back for a simple lunch and wine tasting. We will descend down to Arroyo del Porto Beach from the William Randolph Hearst Memorial Beach parking lot, walk past the Hearst Ranch Winery, and up a short trail to Dine Point, where we will find amazing views and old growth eucalyptus trees. After that amazing hike, we head back to the Hertz Ranch Winery, but we first stop at Sebastian's store across the road to pick up some deli sandwiches and snacks to enjoy while wine tasting on the cliff above the beach. Sound good? Well, it's amazing. Just above the winery is the famed Hertz Castle, a historic estate that was built between 1919 and 1947 by William Randolph Hearst, the publishing tycoon. The castle offers many tours and is a must-see when in the area. It is known for its lavish architecture, opulent pools, and extensive art collections. And it is now a California state park and a popular tourist destination. Have you ever seen or heard of the movie Citizen Kane? That movie is said to be about Hearst and his lavish lifestyle. Then there's the zebras. The Hearst Castle zebras are wild zebras that live on the Hearst Ranch and are descendants of the zebras from William Randolph Hearst's private zoo. The zoo, which was once the world's largest private zoo, but was dismantled in 1937 due to financial difficulties. But the zebras were left behind and have since established a free roaming herd. Today, they can often be seen grazing on the hillsides along Highway 1, just before entering the San Simeon community. There is even a great turnout to view the odd sight you wouldn't expect to find on the California coast. So there you have it. My picks for a great California Central Coast road trip from Los Angeles to San Simeon. Let us know down in the comments about your favorite stops on this road trip. And always remember to be kind in everything you do, even the comments you make.